Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing the Crysis franchise on the GTX 1650 Super. So I'll show you Crysis 1, Warhead, 2 and Crysis 3. There should be an upcoming Crysis 1 remastered. Once that releases, I'll update the description to add a link to that test. So at the moment when I saw that announcement, I remember that these games existed and I had to test them on some GPUs. So first on Crysis 1 and Warhead, they have the same options menu basically, but Warhead seems to be running a little bit better. I'll be using 1080p with 2x MSAA. On Warhead that will be 4x MSAA. Then at 1440p I'll just lower the object detail from the highest to high, excepting on Warhead since on that one I'll keep it maxed out. In general those two games stay over 60 frames per second most of the time, but there are some levels where the performance is absolutely terrible. So yeah, it seems to be a thing by the age of the game. It doesn't fully utilize our CPUs, so the GPU usage drops, especially when looking far into the distance. It can also happen when there are tons of effects on screen, but in general it's a completely playable experience, just in some levels you have some problems, like everybody else. And I'll talk to you again on Crysis 2.
Maximum speed. Good job. Attack system back online. See you to the LZ. I spotted KPA patrols down on the beach. Use your binocs to tag them before you run in blind.
I see a large transmitting array. That must be the jamming station.
Engaged. Energy critical. Maximum armor. Called in reinforcements. Enemy units headed your way. Maximum armor. Attack system back online. See you to the LZ.
Hot damn!
Sierra lead. New orders from JSOC. Reallocating Sierra 2 for ground support role.
Roger, Command. Negative, Command. Send Sierra 3.
Sierra 3 has already been allocated.
What she means is your gin-soaked ass is surplus to requirements. But you wanted action, Sierra 2. Well, now you've got it. Yeah, okay. Ground support. I copy.
Sierra 2 Command. Priority is target acquisition and neutralization. Secondary is recon. Keep your comm-cam rolling.
I've detected the Korean millnet. Access their tactical network and let's see what they've got cooking. With a bit of luck, we might be able to pick up more than just intel. Hot damn!
Sierra Lead. New orders from JSOC. Reallocating Sierra 2 for ground support role.
Roger, Command. Negative, Command. Send Sierra 3.
Sierra 3 has already been allocated.
What she means is your gin-soaked ass is surplus to requirements. But you wanted action, Sierra 2. Well, now you've got it. Yeah, okay. Ground support. I copy.
Sierra 2 Command. Priority is target acquisition and neutralization. Secondary is recon. Keep your comm-cam rolling.
I've detected the Korean millnet. Access their tactical network and let's see what they've got cooking. With a bit of luck, we might be able to pick up more than just intel.
Now on Crysis 2, I'll show you again 1080p and 1440p. It will be that way across the entire video on all the games. And for 1080p, I'll just max it out, even with the DX11 options. This game was originally a DX9 title, but months later they released a DX11 patch with high resolution textures plus extra effects. So all that is enabled in the 1080p section, and the game stays over 60 frames per second. Sometimes it drops below 60 when looking far into the distance in very specific places, but it's way more playable than the previous games in the difficult levels to run, to say it in some way. Then at 1440p, in order to get closer to 60 frames per second, I had to lower some things from Ultra to Extreme, such as game effects, object, post-processing, shading and shadows. and the game can sometimes drop below 60 when there's a shootout going on, but that should be remedied by playing the game on your PC, since I'm recording using the NVidia share feature, so I lose like 5 FPS, so expect to be pretty much over 60, no big deal. Just don't max it out if you want to be close to 60. I'll talk to you again on Crysis 3.
Head north through the camp.
Move out! Let's go! Spread out and comb every inch of this place for profit! Come on, Seven! That's him! Talk
Follow their instructions and do
And finally, Crysis 3. This is on the level that has tons of grass, some enemies, water, and only trying to cause some effects on screen. On 1080p this will be with the maximum settings, except in anti-aliasing that will be on SMAA T2X, which looks good enough in my opinion. Then at 1440p I lowered object to medium, particles to high, post-processing, stats on very high, game effects as well. Shading shadows on water will be lowered to medium, and that should be enough to be over 50 frames per second. Without recording it should be closer to 60 in most cases, but you'll also notice on the frame time graph that there are some spikes here and there, especially when attacking the enemy or looking to certain parts of the map. That can be remedied by just getting a faster CPU, at least 4 cores and 8 threads. This game just uses a lot of CPU, especially in this level. 4 cores, 8 threads, that should be just fine. 6 cores and 6 threads should also be enough, but expect that if you're targeting 60 frames per second. If you're aiming for 30, well, in that case, 4 cores should be fine. The stutter should be way less noticeable. But yeah guys, that's about it. I hope you keep enjoying the video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.
Sector is now in lockdown.
Nanovision enabled.
Bravo!
Threat level is now elevated.
Fire on his position! Can't move from here! Fire on him! Good copy. We're just coming up on the air.
Those electric arrows look light up a large area. Try them out in the lake there. I see something.
Security lockdown in effect.
Heads up, Prophet. Cell reinforcements en route.
Sector is now in lockdown. Warning. Insurgent activity reported in perimeter structure.